Metal Tastic.
What it do, YouTube? It's your boy from a Tastic, back alley or crack at it. Always here like a bad habit. How you living? How you feeling? How you feeling? How you living? Shout out to the naysayers. Shout out to the haters. Shout out to Delulu's a couple screws missing. Also, shout out to C4, Mr. Chris Forth. Said we're hot, we on fire, we never miss it. Yeah, Mr. C4. This is Tastic X C4, C4 X Tastic, whichever one you want to do. You know, if you on his channel, you put him first. If you on my channel, you put me first. It don't matter. We equal. That's the problem with society. We are equal, but we're not going to get into that in this video because in this video we are going to be talking about Ubisoft. We're going to be talking about how they might be bankrupt. We're going to be talking about how they're trying to eradicate Yasuke from the game like he's not a part of history. Like it's you know, we got a video that we're going to react to. Matter of fact, C4, let me do this for you real quick where I am sharing my screen as well. So if we do end up pausing in two different spots, you know where I'm at, I know where you're at.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
I see yours, you see mine, we see each other.
Cool.
Yeah, so no further ado, we're gonna make it do what it do and press play on this video. I hope you do too.
Hey everyone, it's Indemion, and recently I've been talking to some about Assassin's Creed Shadows behind the scenes and a lot of things that are happening at Ubisoft and even other game studios as well. And the things that I've been getting told are pretty damning. So with their consent, I've been able to make this video.
I would hope you got their consent though.
Things that they've told me.
Nah, for real, for real.
Sources, and they have indeed worked with Ubisoft for many
years. This just looks like. Hold on, I'm gonna pause right here.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on, wait. It didn't pause. All right. I just want them to like, do they not see how great these? Hold on, let me just make sure that I got this in. Okay, I got it in 1080 HD.
Yeah,
do you see how beautiful this looks? And this is just a video. Like, this is not us actually experiencing the game. They want to take this away from us.
And I was just like, bro, come on. It does look, wow, this does look appealing, man. Come on, let's just give this a chance. You know, let me switch over, man. I'm gonna use my Discord screen because this is just, I don't know what's going on my screen. Anyway, let me just turn it up and then
turn my headphones up. I can't hear you. Turn my headphones up.
All right, cool. We're good.
All right. So boom, right? So
as well as other game studios as well. They've even told me things about games that aren't released yet that I actually can't even say, because I think if I do that, assassins from other studios will probably barrel roll through my window and then take me out John Wick style. So anyway,
he said
John Wick style. Oh my God.
I had to pause it right there. No, and started when he said Assassins, right? I knew where he was going, right? Because Assassin's Creed, boom, right? So I seen the segue into that. But shout out John Wick. Don't kill his dog, bro. Do not touch his dog. Do not. I mean, you already did, and that's why he did what he do. You feel me?
Anyways,
wait. How do you see this? Fukuchiyama? How you pronounce that? I know I'm butchering. I don't want to butcher that, y'all.
Yeah, for real. Don't butcher it.
Fukuchiyama. Wait. Fukuchiyama. Yeah, Fukuchiyama. Yeah. Fukuchiyama. Maybe it's that. Like, yeah, because I'm saying it in syllables. So maybe I'm like, me saying it in syllables is just messing it up.
Yeah.
But maybe the ch is not even a ch. Maybe a sh. Because I'm trying to think. Chi. Granny ch. Nah, I think it's chi because if you think
about it. Because, if it was like
Tai Chi and shit like that, yeah.
Or another way, yeah.
But then if you think about Naruto or like Granny Chio and shit like that, so
yeah, true.
Yeah.
True.
Spend this video explaining the absolute state of Assassin's Creed Shadows.
I like the possibility of the combat system, right? It's never going to be. I'm pausing it. It's never going to be like like how the old school wanted. Like, you know, a lot of people, they's like, I hate the repetitions. Like, I miss it. I miss
we
it.
can't go back in it. Obviously, I miss that old style of Assassin's Creed, of course, in it, yeah. But we can't go back because
I
the
mean, we
more
can.
time,
We
well,
can.
we can, but
But they don't want us to.
like it's again something. I get why some things have to be new,
Hmm.
but I do like the fact that some things shouldn't be changed, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I felt like Black Flag and probably Unity was probably like the example of Assassin's Creed games. Like it was new, but we still could do what
Yeah,
we
because
needed to do.
it was still kind of like did what the older ones did. Like as far as like, all right, cool. I'm in the midst of a combo, then boom, if somebody trying to hit me, I counter it. Like kind of like the old Arkham games, right? Like
Yeah.
whereas like and even Spider-Man does it to this day, right? Like I think Spider-Man is great at implementing the systems of old but making it modern, right? Like clearly Spider-Man, you're gonna flip and you know do all these. I don't want to call it gymnastics, but you know I'm gonna just leave it at flips. Like you know you're literally gyrating in the air while dodging, and then you're doing what you do. These aerial feats. That's what we're
and
gonna
you can
call it.
still stealth because that's how Spider-Man can do that. So
Yes.
it's like that aspect as well. Like so.
Shout out to Chris Smooth playing stealthy is
Healthy.
healthy.
Honestly.
Eternally and
We
more.
back at it.
And there's other stuff that
Dude,
you
yo,
just
the
gotta
visuals
hear, because a
look
lot
great,
of
bro.
this
Like
is
these
just
would be
Nah,
great
it
for
is.
thumbnails.
It is.
So in my previous video,
For
I
real.
explained that Paul Tassi of Forbes said in his article.
Hold on, let me
about
read
the
this. After Assassin's Creed Shadows delay, Ubisoft acknowledges Outlaws issues anti-woke pushback. I don't even think. Well, wait, all right. Let's speak on it now.
See what go ahead.
No, so I was gonna say like it is. So I don't think the issues was with Outlaw in general. I think the issue was with people's expectations slash reactions to Outlaw because I'm not going to sit there and say like, yo, I know every you know discrepancy that people have with the game. I in real life don't know, right? Like I don't care to know, right? Because I play a game based off of story. If it looks good,
on gameplay,
I'm not going to say,
you know what I mean?
I'm not going to sit there and say like, yo, I I'm not gonna play because of the character, bro. You gotta grow to like the character. When you read a book, when you read a book, right? You don't know none of the characters, bro. You grow to like them, and then you grow to hate them. They're sitting there doing this shit. Excuse my language. They're sitting here doing this before they even have a real like concept to go off of. You just all right. You see a trailer. All right, cool. Like that's just a trailer. The trailer is meant to hook you in, but how could you sit there and say you hate this character off of the trailer? But it's
my
like
thing as well. My thing as well. Like especially in the case of Star Wars Outlaws, even myself, like I think I've even made the video on the channel about how I feel about Star Wars right now, what direction they're going in terms of like storytelling and whatnot. It just isn't Star Wars to me. So the element of like shows and movies, a lot of the shows, especially now the last couple of ones, it doesn't feel like Star Wars because they've taken out the element of the Force and they've taken other simple elements that weren't even about the Force and just done their own thing. You know what I mean? Why can't a show be like The Mandalorian and Andor, right? Both of those shows are great because they are good at what they do without the Force. I mean, there might be a little element of the Force here and there, but it doesn't have to be that. But there's still great shows to watch. You know what I mean?
Not everybody's going to be Mike Jordan, Kobe Bean, or LeBron. That's what it is too. People be thinking that they can, you know, they got to be great. Like they got to so. Anybody who has watched Dragon Ball Z, GT, Super, all that, everybody wants to be a Super Saiyan, right?
Yeah, not everybody can be a Super Saiyan.
Not everybody could be a Super Saiyan. That some people's gonna have to be humans. Some people might be Namekians. Some people might be, I don't know, aliens, like some type of other alien.
Yeah, it's all different types of things vary, man.
It's like for you to sit there and be butthurt because you're not making the best of what God gave to you, then you know, like that's what it really is. Like people just be real life upset with where they're at in life, and then it's like, bro, like let's really be real. Like, you know, you just You just gotta be better. Be better, do better. So with that, right? Like I said, I feel like yes, Ubisoft is acknowledging the fact that people are having problem with Outlaw, like with the game Outlaws, but they shouldn't even fret saying that it's them. It's like it's the game, it's the people, right? It's the toxic woke community, right? Whereas like, oh, you feel like your opinion is the only opinion that needs to be had. And it's like, if we're really gonna sit here and be grown up about certain things, is to understand that not everybody's going to think the same as you, because we are all individuals. We are all free to think however we want. Yes,
just about you.
Yeah, we do click up, right? Like if we do have similar ways of thinking, but even with similarity comes difference, right? Like if we're really being honest, right? You and I are both black. Just because we're both black don't mean that we like the same things, don't mean that we look the same, don't mean that we are that. There's variety, right? Like
real.
You're from across the pond, I'm from America. You got what I'm saying? Like there's subtle differences that make us who we are, that people love, but then people want to take that away when it comes to video games. Like, bro, like maybe this is just not the game for you. Like all right, cool, you liked it back in the day, right? But let's really be real. Like back in the day, it's different.
One thing I will say nowadays, like especially with gamers, like it's cool to like one game and have like, you know, if you're someone that just plays Call of Duty or even sports games and that's your niche, fine. There's nothing wrong with that. My issue is that when you talk about other games, you don't really have the information because you're just stuck playing one type of games, and that could go for anything. Anything in gaming. If you're a person that just is one dynamic of gaming, you can't speak on other gaming styles because you don't play that type of other gaming styles. That's what I feel like it is too. So, you know, something like Assassin's Creed Shadows, something like Star Wars Outlaw, something like Ghost of Yotei, Ghost of Tsushima, those type of games, if you don't play them on a regular, you're not gonna understand it. You're not gonna be like, oh, this is like, it's hard, it's this and that. No, like it's just not for you. Like Elden Ring and like those Souls type of games, I always say it's not for me. It's just not for me. That's just what it is, you know.
Not for me, but at the same time, I can play it and realize it's not for me. I do have to get out an Elden Ring video because I was dead on that first boss for like a whole hour, and I didn't realize people was telling me, no, don't fight him. Like that was the boss that people told me not to fight. But because I like a challenge and I don't want to shy away from the challenge, I think I died like 16 times to this man's, bro.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm pressing play.
Cool.
Ubisoft implosion, that those extra months have been given to possibly reduce or even completely remove Yasuke from Assassin's Creed Shadows. My source told me, however, that they heard February 2025 is simply a placeholder release date as of now. Apparently, this is because Ubisoft is scrambling and they need certain key talent in order to assist on a Q2 game release. Which, if you don't know what that means, there's 4 quarters to a calendar year, so Q2 means Ubisoft has something that they think will hit
these visuals
that
is
coming
just
out later in the year.
Chef's kiss.
Oh, it's looking nice.
So because talent at the studio is working to make that future release come out more
like, no
smoothly,
lie, I am getting Ghost of
Shadows is
Tsushima
not
vibes, but I
being
get it
given
because
extra
it's just
hands
the
it kind of
environment.
needs
Yeah, it's the
now.
environment.
So like
Yeah.
said, the release date may actually be pushed back even further. Wait,
all right, I'm pausing right there. So from that little, I want to call it excerpt, but we're not reading a passage. But from that little part of the video, so they're saying that even though we got Valentine's Day 2025 as a possible release date, they're also saying that that's just a placeholder. We might not even get it that day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's cool.
Woke community, if y'all ever come upon my video, this video in particular, I am blaming you guys. I am with all this smoke. If y'all cancel me, y'all cancel me. That's fine, because at the end of the day, there's a difference of opinions. But don't let something that has a possibility of being good, especially something that we have yearned for years, right?
Years,
like with Assassin's Creed.
Type of Assassin's Creed for the last 15 years.
Yeah, because the franchise been out for 17 years. So after Ezio, we was like, yeah, let's get us some Japanese culture, especially because if you think of an assassin, right? you stick to the dark, like you stick to the shadows, right? Like what else are you thinking of? Like for real, let's really be real. What else are you thinking of when you think of, you know, sticking to the darkness besides Batman? Oh, you thought darkness was your ally. You really adopted it. Was born in it. Shaped by it.
I've actually got that clip.
Bro,
that clip for a video.
Bro, if I can ever get like a voice synthesizer where I can talk like Bane for a whole stream or something, I am doing. Oh, Batman, you thought darkness was your ally. But yeah, like when you think of it, shaped by it, I didn't see the light of day until I was a man, and by then it was blinding. Like, but that's yo, nah. I'm not gonna hold you. I had got mad respect for Bane in that clip. Because as he was breaking this man's back, pause if you need it, but it's not necessary. He is giving this speech. Like, it's for like, real. Yo, he, I'm like, bro, like,
hey, that scene was, I laugh now, yeah, but when I saw that,
nah,
cinema, that
I was
crazy.
I was like, Batman. First of all, we was Meek Mill before Meek Mill was Meek Mill, because we was like, get up, get up, Spidal.
Oh, jeez.
But yeah, don't ruin a good thing before it ever has any like time to come to fruition, right? Like, because it's like like we was just saying, we've been waiting for this for, I'll say, when did Assassin's Creed Revelations come out? Like 2010, 2011. So yeah, for the last 13 years, because
13, yeah.
Because I think Assassin's Creed 3 came out like 2012, right in time for like when we thought the world was going to end. And even with Assassin's Creed 3, like, I liked it. I enjoyed it. Like, I thoroughly enjoyed every Assassin's Creed until Origins. Origins, I didn't like it as much. Played it, got through a lot of the story, didn't finish it. Odyssey, I think I got Odyssey late, so I'd never played it. But I think because of what I ran into with Origins, I was like, I real life don't feel like playing Odyssey. Didn't play Valhalla. I started the opening scene, didn't finish it. And then we got to Mirage. Mirage, they was like, yeah, we're taking it back to the roots. And I'm like,
I don't even think I even touched Odyssey or Valhalla like that. I know I played Origins. Origins, I actually love the story.
Yeah, no, the story is dope. I just didn't finish it. Like,
yeah.
But then, you know what it is too? I think back during that time when Origins did come out, I was going through something in personal life where like I had to move and stuff around. So cool. Yeah, a lot of games, a lot of anime I did not finish around that time period. Like I have not continued. Like if I go back, I'm like, oh shoot.
It happens.
So you know, grown man things like this is those y'all don't know.
That's what I'm saying, man.
We the 30 and up. Well, in 20 at the time of recording, in 23 days. I don't know when this is gonna go out. Maybe the same day or maybe tomorrow. But just know 3 weeks until your man's big 3-0. I've been making fun of C4 for a little bit because you know, but I'm just glad that I am, you know, potentially seeing the saga of 30s, right? I'm good. You know, with getting older. This is a little spiel, this is a little tangent. We might take this out, but no, I'm gonna keep this in. Right, we're getting older is understanding that there's more to life than
there's
just,
more there for real. There's so much more to life, man. And that's why I look on Twitter and I'm thinking, you guys are tweeting about this, bro. Like tomorrow, listen, like, bro, I gotta wake up for work tomorrow. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I got real life things to worry about. Y'all worrying about the trivial stuff. Like,
there's so much stuff going on in the world, and you're angry about this. Like, history's already been made. So I'm cool with everybody using their imagination. Isn't that what gaming's about? Use your imagination, come up with something new. That's what I'm saying.
But yeah, it's like this is crazy. I'm pressing play again.
Yeah.
Also told when they originally saw the game, there was indeed a male Japanese
that the swing part reminds me of
animations. They don't know if this character will be
I think Sekiro. I didn't really play it, but I've seen people play it.
They are skeptical that Ubisoft.
But even with Ghost of Tsushima too, he's doing that too.
Yeah, it was doing that too. I tried it as well a little bit.
Backlash they'll get from journalists and so on.
I might go back and play that too.
That the game's first act is
I will say this: them pushing back Shadows does help me want to go back to like just playing through all Assassin's Creed up until a certain point before Shadows comes out. So I recently bought AC1 on Xbox because that shit was like $20 for mad long, and then they had a sale. It was $20, bro. I was like, what the heck? I was like, y'all not Nintendo. You better make this John like $2, bro. This is a 17-year-old game. Like, come on now. I get it, but let's get it together. So finally got it for like $5 on sale, and then that completed. Like, I got every single Assassin's Creed now, so I'll probably go in order: AC1, 2, Brotherhood, Revelations, so on and so forth.
But they were swapped sometime during 2020, according to my source for Yasuke instead.
Yes, I know they're trying to swap things.
Really
so it's like, bro, why are you trying to swap? Like
Ubisoft to make the change that they did.
I just want to turn it up.
From the original Japanese male character to now Yasuke. They said that Ubisoft was heavily influenced by the socio-political events of the time, with stuff like, and no, I'm not kidding, George Floyd dying, the riots, and Black Lives Matter exploding in support. So I'm
gonna pause it right there. I don't even want to make a comment on that part. But Ubisoft, if that's, I'm not, you know what? I'm a Ubisoft partner. Just because I am a Ubisoft partner doesn't mean that I agree with every ideology.
Everything. Yeah. Well,
and I'm not even mad at that. Because just because somebody is suspecting that that's what y'all doing, and maybe there is proof that that's what y'all doing.
Yeah.
And it's not a good look, bro. I'm
telling
you, like,
it's not good. It's not good.
I stay out of politics, right? Like I do not get into politics because, one, I am not of a political mind, right? Like, I'm not going to sit there and be like, yeah, well, if you do this, you do that, and then you get this, and you get I am green when it comes to politics. Yeah. If it's something that I need to understand, I will do my research on it. And that's that, right? I think the notion of putting in a black character into this game in order to bring light to the social political climate of what was going on, or I don't think I would hope that is not true, because if we peel back the layers, right? Yasuke is a real life person. It's not like it's Naoe, right, where she's made up. She is of the environment of which we are traversing through, right? But she fits the mold of being of the Japanese culture, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Yasuke was in Japan, right? Like, yes, we don't have a whole big backstory, and that's what
we don't have the whole backstory.
That's what they're meant to do, right? Like,
but it's imagination. That's what they've done, imagination. But if they have done this in the climate just for the sake of that, what happened in 2020 and whatnot,
that's crazy. That's nefarious work.
That's wild.
I don't want to sit there and be like, I'm not playing your games no more, because
you know what I mean.
Because at one point, right, you're not condoning what's happening, but you're still kind of the problem, right? Like, cool. What is my thing is, you put him in a game for what, right? Are you putting him in a game to sit there and bring just knowledge? Right? Or are you just trying to do it to appease a community in which you're trying to, get support from? And it's bad, right? Because let's really be real. You don't need to try and pilfer our interests. Bro, real ones, look at me. 17 years strong in the franchise, bro. Like,
you know what I'm saying? You could have done whatever. They could have done whatever in Japan, you know what I mean?
Exactly, because
whatever, that's what they could have done.
And then this brings up what we spoke about earlier off camera, where it was like, yo, when we get movies based in Egypt, right? Like,
they're not Gods of Egypt, bro. Yeah. Gods of Egypt, not a lot of acting was good, but
not a lot of people
What were Egyptians?
know
What were
that
Egyptians?
they're African, bro. And
That's what I'm
that's what I was
saying.
about to say, right? Like they're not understanding, like, yo, Egypt is a part of Africa, right? Like what y'all thought? What y'all thought? Like, I don't want to get all like religious, and I'm not going to get religious, but if you have understood certain texts from the Bible, his skin was of bronze and his hair was wool. That sound like a more fair-skinned person. Like I'm gonna be very nice about it. I don't want people to sit there and be like, "Yeah, let me cancel you because you say so crazy." But does that like description let you know? Like, does that say, "Oh yeah, he's very fair-skinned"? No, he is of maybe a couple of shades lighter, if not my color, if not C4's color, right? Like, but then it's like, just think about it. Egypt is in Africa. We already know the demographic of Africa, bro. Like, yes, there are lighter skinned people. There are dark skinned people. There's people of all different ranges, right?
That's cool.
But if they say his skin was like bronze, what is bronze, bro? Ain't that the same color as kind of like copper? Right, what's copper? Ain't that like a little like brown, maybe like a little reddish tint, something like come on now, like let's really be real. Like I need people to put on their thinking caps. I need people to be real with themselves. That's what it is. I think that's what, like, when we get to the end of the day in this video, people need to be real with themselves. That's what it really is. People need to Ubisoft need to be real. If those allegations prove true, where
it's looking mad. It is looking mad. Like, and the thing is, with that, if that is also true as well, then I can understand people's gripes a lot more and whatnot. Why? If that's the case, if there's real evidence that if that's the truth that they're trying to pander because of Black Lives Matter, then it's like, all right.
But then don't. My thing is, right?
You want to participate in the game or just whatever. Like, we don't have to play. We don't have to do it. Whatever. If people still want to, it's still there. It's always gonna be there, I guess.
Yep.
You know what I mean? But
my thing is too with that, right? Is like, if you're like, if you have gripes with a game, right? And like you just said, right? Like, if it's because you're inserting this character to appease the social political climate of what happened with the BLM and everything, this is like, you're hating on this game for the wrong reason, because this is historical facts that he was in Japan during his time. Yeah. So like, be upset with the fact that, you know, you like it. Just say that you're mad because there was real life a black superhero in Japan. Like, if we're really going to be honest, just really be mad that it wasn't you.
I will say, like, in terms of the history of Yasuke, a lot of it we generally don't know. I generally don't know in terms of like
none of us know.
All I know, he was in Japan. All I know, he was there.
He was a retainer.
Retainer, whatever. You know what I mean? But one thing I will say, Ubisoft, your incompetence for you to say it's 100% facts, everything is true in a video game.
But see, no. Actually, though, Ubisoft, to my knowledge, never said that, because they always have a disclaimer at the beginning of the games. I don't know if they was doing it with the last few, but I remember at the beginning of the games, they say this is historical nonfiction. There are fictional characters. There's non-fictional characters in here with fiction, with fictitious stories, fictitious other characters and stuff.
I heard that from Twitter. Then
I had to clear that up. And this is not me trying to be like, yo, Ubisoft, pay your mans because I'm a partner. But I didn't want you to sit there and get smoked online, because they gonna sit there and be like, bro, what are you really doing, bro?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. So that means to say that the fact that Assassin's Creed do that, Twitter, like, I can't even lie, the people on Twitter, you just went crazy for no reason, knowing that Assassin's Creed have said this at the start of pretty much every game.
And it's crazy because
that's crazy.
We don't even have to go through the rest of this video. That's real life what it is.
Anyway,
Ubisoft, y'all did your due diligence and letting us know that it's not 100% nonfiction. There's going to be some fictitious aspects to it. And that's why we love it. Well, that's why I love it.
Yeah.
And C4 loves it too. So I'm going to speak for both. This is why we love it, right? Because there's an element of imagination that you guys put to it that is like, it makes this come to life. Like, it almost feels real. Like, I feel like if I go into an animus, like if there's an animus out there, I could go and relive my old ancestral memories and be like, yo, Ezio, what's good, bro? This is somebody who learned from you. You're the mentor, like Altair, like Connor, Rata Canton. Like, come on now. Like, let's really be real. Man. Like, Ubisoft, part of, and then it's like, all right, if you have a problem with Ubisoft doing this with this game, then you have a problem with any other franchise doing it with any other game, any other movie they create. You're mad that it's fictitious. Like, you just mad because it's not you. At that point, you want a game based on your life. Like, that's like yo, C4, that's like you hating, right? And you be like, man, why Batman gotta be a white billionaire? Why that can't be me? Why it can't be a black billionaire? Like, bro, like, yo, just accept it for what it is. If you don't like it, you don't have to play. You don't have to indulge in it. That's what people's not understanding. People's not understanding that.
And to go off topic a little bit, like, when it comes to superheroes anyway, there's poor ones, there's rich ones, there's Batman, who's a rich billionaire, there's Spider-Man, who is a guy that's struggling, like, you know what I mean, trying to find his way and whatnot. So, you know, there's black superheroes, there's a story. Same thing, rich and whatever, so, you know.
There's a story. Everybody has a story to tell us about who's going to listen. I've been saying that for ages, bro. When it comes for, like, people to understand each other, everybody has a story. Like, I have a story that I probably haven't shared. You have a story that you probably haven't shared. You know, we have other people that have stories that they haven't shared. And it's about who's going to listen, right? Like, if you could take the time out and sit there and put yourself to the side and empathize, not sympathize, because there's a difference. Empathize with, you know, that part of the person.
Then, you're cool. Yeah,
then you can sit there and gain a whole different perspective.
Yeah.
People
it's
think that it's supposed to just be
if you're lying, then,
you ever had thoughts you ain't think? You like, you know, like, you ever had thoughts you ain't think? Like, you like there's a situation that happened to me a few years ago. I'm not gonna get deep into it, but I realized that this person was only having intellectual conversations with me to steal my mindset, right? Like, to broadcast as if they were coming up with these, you know, these points and stuff. I'm like, so it's like, you know, you ever had thoughts you ain't think, and, you know, people just have intellectual conversations. Not all people, some people have intellectual conversations with you just to steal your mindset, because the audience that they might go to, you probably, I won't say never reach, but you haven't reached yet. So now, then they say they could do it first, and then boom, now, like, you get there, and then people is like, oh, I heard this before. You know, you sound kind of like, and you be like, they got that from me. Like, it was me. Shout out to my son Franklin. Say, I built this shit. Me, break by motherfucking break, and I'll be damned if I let you tear this shit down. Credit. Yeah, like, come on. There's no credit. Like, come on now. Like, my whole thing is, you know. And there's people that in the past, I'm just not gonna name names. I know somebody gonna come in the comment section and be like, name names. I'm not gonna name names because that's messy. But there are people that have been called the discount version of other people. And I'm like, bro, everybody learns from somebody, right? But it's about how you integrate that into your being and make it work for you. Do not be a one-to-one. Imitation is not always good, right? Often imitated, never duplicated.
It's not. Nah. Sometimes you really got to be creative and come up with your own little styles and things and whatnot. You know what I mean? You can't just copy everything that everyone else is doing or what someone else does. Like, nah.
Because it's not going to work for you, bro.
Work for you. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. So you have to be very mindful of that. I understand, like, even with YouTube, like, I get it. Like, I watch a lot of people that I'm inspired by, like Chris Smooth, Belize, like, you know, RDC, all these types of people, but they have their style for their exact reasons why they're big. You know what I mean? I have to do my own thing. I can't just copy them and expect, this is gonna work. No, like, you gotta have your own catchphrases or your own little slogan or whatever.
Pack them up, pack them up, like, you know, it is just, I remember Smooth asked me one time, he was like, why do you say that? I'm like, cause like, and so I actually got that from playing ball, like growing up. There was this one dude, who, like, you know, if you get to steal, it's like you stealing a wallet. So you'd be like, my wallet. Like, he said it in a different tone, but me, you know, my voice could still hit certain octaves and shit like that. That sound crazy. Pause if necessary. Yeah. So it's like, you know, but it's like, I could have just went the whole rest of my life and be like, yo, I made that up. No, I got it from somebody. I made it fit to me. And you know, I give him his flowers. Like, anytime I go back to the hood and I see him, I'll be like, yo, I use that. And it's like, it's just, you know, paying homage, right? Like, it's not, don't ever be too great and high on your horse to not pay homage and show humility. Like, that goes a long way. And I really feel like people don't do that.
Don't do that enough, man. You don't do that enough. So, you know,
let's get back into Yasuke now.
Don't shoot the messenger here, but this is what I was told by this source, but Ubisoft may have opted to include Yasuke in order to pander to identity politics because of Black Lives Matter. I know, it's a hell of a statement. Again, they said they cannot confirm 100%, but they did say that they have...
Real quick, I'm going to pause real quick. If you cannot confirm 100%, why put it in this video?
Yeah, because it makes it look like
so it's like,
you know what I mean. The things with insiders, as much as they say certain things, if it's not 100%, you can't say. If you saw a document and was like, this is 100%, or like an email or something, or somebody said
people can tell you anything, and then because a lot of people like to set people up. So now that they told you this, they gonna be like, you gonna get this out there. So now they could sit there and be like, oh yeah, they're getting crazy with our name out here. They're saying that we're doing this. It's not even what it is. Here's what it really is, and now you look stupid.
Yeah, but we'll see.
There's always what it's three sides of the story. Their side, the other side, and the actual truth.
And the actual truth. So when that comes out, that will come out.
Yep.
Seen the original Japanese hero character, and that they were actually mortified when they saw Yasuke for the first time in the game.
Don't like you.
Apparently, one of the videos that Ubisoft was showing of Yasuke originally, and no, I'm not kidding you, was Yasuke destroying a grocery store property with his weapons in order to show the game's physics engine. But the source said that they couldn't believe how Tony...
I really don't see any problem with that. Like, I get the stereotype that could be placed in the back of your mind with that, but we're not thinking about that. Like, you're showing like, yo, you can destroy the environment. Like, bro, like he's strong.
But they show that in a lot of games though. Like, why bro?
It's because he's black. It's because he's black. You know, come on, you know why? You know,
bro, like GTA, bro, they're gonna show people. Somebody gonna get shot. I'm just saying, somebody's gonna get shot.
All right, wait. Let's really talk about it, right? Real quick, right? Who they had stealing cars in GTA? Don't worry, I'll wait. In GTA 5, who they had stealing cars?
The game.
Franklin and what's his man's name? Lamont, I think that was his name.
Lamont, I think so. Yeah.
Bro, and what were they? Black. So what stereotype you trying to get through, Rockstar? Come on now. Y'all not sitting there coming at Rockstar, but y'all coming at Ubisoft. Come on now. Y'all gotta come at everybody the same way. Same way.
There's gonna be something more drastic than
people don't like me. People not gonna like me online. Cause I'm gonna give it up the same way online, offline, inline. Like skating wise, I don't know, like shit. I'm like,
for real.
You know, like you gotta call everybody out, bro. Like if you gonna sit there and be mad at one, be mad at the other people that do it too.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So let's oh my gosh, so many conundrums.
Ubisoft was being considering they were literally showing a black guy.
I don't think, I don't like the parkour in here. They need to go
this
like
lack of knowing.
The parkour's not as like
was all over
it's not
the game.
fluid.
And like I said, Yasuke was
like it works for like Ghost of Tsushima because we wasn't promised that he was an assassin. He was just a warrior. I'm a warrior, Tastic. I'm a warrior.
And they actually thought including him would be a really big selling point for the game. They apparently believed by inserting Yasuke that they could garner and pander to the modern audience, which is cringe. But yes, these studios are still trying to pander to these groups that, like I've said so many times, they literally do not exist. Another very damning allegation I was told by sources was that compared to Assassin's Creed Valhalla, that Shadows has only about 7% the pre-order numbers of Valhalla during the same time period. Yes, you heard that right, guys. 7% of Valhalla. So that other reports where Stuttering Craig, a side-scroller, said Shadows only had about 800 physical pre-orders over about 900 plus stores in America, he is telling the truth, my friends. So it's pretty evident that Ubisoft delayed the game not only due to backlash, but because they were getting next to nothing pre-order wise when compared to Valhalla, or even Mirage even. I don't have exact concrete numbers on Valhalla's
pre-orders. There's nobody pre-ordering it because
remember that Valhalla is
trying to find a reason to not buy the game and not
play
the game.
And also, what's wrong with waiting until getting it cheaper or on release or whatever?
Video, or like a month ago, I guess, has about 7% of that.
know.
You can believe it. I was also told that Ubisoft has made Shadows the most microtransaction-filled experience from launch compared to any other previous title that they have ever released in the franchise. So we're talking loads of DLC armor, weapons, mounts, trinkets, etc. for both characters, all for premium costs. Which, of course, is nonsense because the game is full price at launch.
Yeah, okay, premium cost. Okay, yeah, that should be like DLC free kind of stuff. Yeah, or cheaper at least. Cheaper.
Yeah.
No, I am not kidding.
Well, you know.
Besides the abysmal pre-orders, the thing that actually spooked Ubisoft more than anything else was how Japan reacted to the one-legged Torigate figurine. Remember that's the merchandise product where Yasuke and Naoe are standing on a symbol of Nagasaki getting the atom bomb dropped on them? Yet these characters take place in Japan, well, before that even happens. And this
I can understand that.
Yeah, I can understand that. Yeah, for real. I can understand that.
Because there's two different time periods.
Or really know anything about the time period, it led to the higher-ups admitting defeat and demanding that the game get a cultural do-over, if you will. They wanted things to be more authentic because the one-legged Torigate incident was so embarrassing and baffling that they didn't want anything else like that to ever happen again.
See, that's why you gotta do your research. You gotta do your due diligence.
That's another big reason for it. As of now, from what I've been told, February 2025 is being chosen because Ubisoft believes there will be a AAA gaming drought around that time period. So they're hoping that they can capitalize by releasing Shadows then instead of November 15th, which was its original release date.
No, it makes sense because, like, let me pause it for a second.
Yeah, let me pause it too. Because around this time, let's go back to
look what's coming out in October.
August. Let's go back to August. We had Black Myth Wukong that we was waiting for 4 years. No,
Outlaws came out in August. What came out this month?
September 2K. Madden. 2K. Well, Madden came out at the end of August, right? Yeah. What else? I think FIFA.
Yeah, FIFA.
Right. Okay. And then October is Dragon Ball. I think what the
new
Bleach game,
Dragon Ball Sparking Zero,
Call of Duty,
Call of Duty, and then even November. What's that? The Indiana Jones game at the end of the month, end of November. So it was a very it makes sense,
jam-packed period. Like I'm still playing. I'm still behind on games.
Yeah, for real. Actually, I'm alright with my yeah, I think I've only got like 2 or 3 now, but still, I'm okay.
You know, we all can't be C4, you know.
I'm sure I've got. I mean, the thing is about me, like when it comes to certain games, anyway, like if I've not played them, I'll just play in my own time, and I've always got time to do it in my own time anyway. It just depends what it is, and if it's something like Resident Evil, like that's Resident Evil 8, guys. That's coming to the channel at some point.
Yes, sir.
I do want to get Silent Hill 2 because obviously that's coming out on the 8th of October as well, same day as Sparking Zero. So, but I'll have to wait until at least Black Friday, maybe Christmas time to get that. So, yeah.
For those of y'all who are not familiar with C4's channel, it's Chris Forth, the number 4 OURTH. I think I spelled it right?
Yeah, that's right. That's
all right. Chris Forth, right? There is no F. There's just a number 4. Go leave a like, comment, subscribe. Let them know that you came from the channel. that you came from over here, because you know love is love, support is free. Don't let them tell you that as
always.
any differently than me. Shoot. But nah,
yeah, same with Tastic as well, guys.
Full
Drop
Metal
a like,
Tastic,
comment, you know,
FULLMETALTASTIC.
Link will be in the
I do
description.
it big because you know I do it BIG. I'm from the NYC. I said I tried to live as lavishly as possibly.
A man loves to rhyme, as you can see. So yeah.
Ooh, look at you! Rhyming accidentally. Let's go. Yo, we still got 18 minutes, bro.
Yeah.
This is gonna be a long video. Shoot.
Word.
Around that time, like Monster Hunter Wilds will release in that same period,
Yeah,
which
Monster
makes
Hunter.
me believe that Ubisoft will indeed push the game even further back than intended.
Oh boy.
One of the things for sure getting removed from Shadows, according to my sources, is indeed the rap hip-hop music for Yasuke.
Huh?
Apparently, Ubisoft brought out a questionnaire, and they were unanimously told that the rap music was tonally wrong and completely unneeded, and that it was actually
there was rap
that
music?
Ubisoft believed Yasuke.
Yeah, apparently. I mean, I get it. You know, I get it as well. Like,
I mean, because rap wasn't even created then.
Before
it wasn't
such
even
music
then. Yeah.
existed, and it
Just
was
give us
only
some real,
implemented
like,
because
true
Yasuke
to
was
the
black.
environment.
That's going to be
Japanese music,
They're
bro.
also
Like,
removing
yo,
dialogue from the
Japanese music,
game.
he was
that's what
not
I'm saying.
spitting no
My
rhymes
source
back in the
told me
1600s,
that it would
bro.
actually enrage
1500s. He
players
was
if they
not
heard
spitting
it.
this.
I wasn't given concrete examples of
He
what
said,
kind
"We
of
live in
dialogue,
this. We
but the
can't quit
source
with this."
assumed It may have been Yasuke saying
I'm trying to
some
be
sort
ubiquitous
of
with Ubisoft.
socio-political pandering nonsense about how he was sold by white men or something, and that he hates white men and white supremacy must be abolished and such. They're also removing this because, of course, if that were in the game, it would absolutely be highlighted and used to detract even more people from supporting the game in the future.
All right, hold on.
Also,
let me just pause that real quick. The only people that would detract is that culture. I'm not going to name names. They already named names when they said it just now.
Well, it'll be the racists. That's what
Yeah.
it'll be. It will detract those.
They're gonna be like, they took our jobs. They took our jobs. Oh, head asses, bro. Come on now.
Oh my
Like,
gosh.
I'm not gonna hold you. I'm glad I didn't live in those times because I'm real life petty. So I'm glad I didn't live in those times, but I'm glad that it's now at a point where it's more out in the open than if you had to really question if somebody was like that or not. Like we can tell now more.
For real. Like even in the UK, like bro, ever since I would probably say since Brexit and even since like even more after COVID, the UK's changed and it's clear as day. Like it's clear as day.
Clear as day in 4K. I'm pressing play.
Also during development, one of the hardest things to implement for Ubisoft apparently was the parry system, according to sources. And allegedly, Shadows was also going to be the last game in the series that would feature the RPG-like gameplay mechanics that started in Origins.
Oh yeah?
And that future releases would instead go back to what the series was most known for, which is more of an action...
Okay.
I love it! I love it!
That's what I knew they have to come back because bro, like we've been saying for the last 10, 13 years that
yes, Lord, you answer my prayers. I just knew because we were talking about this earlier. I reference go back to the beginning of the video where we talk about AC1. I love it. Let's go. Because that really just warmed my heart because like, and it's not even like Mirage wasn't bad when it came to the RPG.
No, Mirage wasn't bad for that. It was close.
Thinking,
it wasn't,
was there really any RPG elements in Mirage? Like I don't think I had to equip anything.
Nah, not really. I didn't have to equip anything like that. You think those little bits here and there, but not like fully. Nah. So you were cool.
Yeah.
In adventure style, just look at Unity or Assassin's Creed 2, that kind of thing instead. With stuff like the more timed combat of the original and such, and apparently the RPG stuff is very difficult to implement, and Ubisoft wants to lessen the load, as they say, in future games. I was also told that the next Assassin's Creed, which is called Hexi or Hex, which is set during the Salem witch trials, was being internally claimed, and get this, to be the gayest Assassin's Creed yet. I'm told that it only has a single female protagonist, and it's also the most fantastical Assassin's Creed yet. There will be lots of mysticism.
Wait. Did I hear that correctly? Wait, hold on. Because with the explanation that he just did, right? I'm going to turn on. I'm going to turn. Okay, wait. It was right
he
there.
Did,
so he did say that.
Okay. What in the world?
All right. I'm gonna just press play. I'm not making a comment on that. Remember,
okay, no. The only thing.
Remember I said I don't deal with politics, bro.
No, the only thing I'm gonna say about this is that listen. I don't care what people's preferences are. I really don't care. Like, do what you do whatever. I really don't care. I don't business in it. You know what I mean? I'm not a guy that's gonna be like, oh, I don't like this person because their sexuality is this or whatever. I don't care in it. You know what I mean? Live your life how you see fit in it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
No, you're right.
But I do understand to an extent of if they're gonna push this in front of my face, like, oh, it's got
clause if necessary.
X, Y, Z, yeah, X, Y, and Z, like gay, lesbian, whatever. If they're gonna like make it a thing where it's like, oh, they're gonna push it in front of my face and be like, oh yeah, you have to deal with this, and it's just like, whoa, like, listen, I'm cool. I don't care about that stuff.
It should always be a choice.
It should always be a choice. That's all I'm saying. You know?
My thing is, like, so from what before we start,
like, witches.
Like, I mean, my thing is, like, because you literally just said this, and you said because they have one female protagonist, bro. Like, what does that have to do with any? That's why I had to stop. Like, I had to make sure that what I heard and what was being portrayed was one and the same, or like in line with each other, because that was wild. That was wild.
Yeah.
Also have, as they said, very striking visuals. I don't know if that means an entirely different art style or anything.
That's Connor?
But this is what I was told.
Connor.
It will still be an open world action game like the other ones, but from what I've been told, it is the biggest departure yet for the series. My sources claim that Hex or Hexy, whatever it's called, is very, very female power oriented. We are talking lots of lesbian relationships and female characters. It has witch covens and apparently very little masculine presence within the game.
Okay, hold on. Let me pause this. Okay. Even with that, because you got to remember, witches that were around back in those times.
There was no man participating in that in those times, bro. Like, we don't get wizards until Harry Potter.
Yeah, but for real, like, we don't get wizards and witches until Harry Potter.
I mean, if we're really being real, we have spellcasters, mages. Okay, but like, come on now.
When it gets to like
the Salem witch trials, of course, it's going to be women.
There was no men back then. Like, there was literally no men. The only thing I can say that it's not going to feel like Assassin's Creed is only because the witch environment. I mean,
you're probably going to do spells and stuff, and I'm like, dang, all right, whatever.
If I want to do spells, I can just play Hogwarts Legacy. That's
exactly. But we don't know how they're going to implement it. I think and we could just reference this if I am right in future, right? We're going to come back to this video. I feel like whoever the main protagonist is, I don't think she would use witchcraft per se, but they're gonna think that she's using witchcraft with how fast she moves, right? Like, it's kind of like with Basim and Mirage, right? When you did the little like all right, boom, you hit one, then you hit another one, and they was like, oh, it's an animus glitch, right? They gonna think that she's like a witch because there's no way she's doing the things that she's doing. Like, she might low key be strong like a man, and she's like, nah, how you doing that? Like, you must have really like sold your soul to move like this. Like, I feel like it's gonna be like that. And if it's not, I'm wrong. I'm fine with being wrong. But at the same time,
I probably will leave this game alone, just because if to me, like Valhalla or Odyssey, that's what took me away. If this is going to be on those types
because it was a supernaturals
parameters, you know what I mean? Cool. I can understand not playing this. That's fine. I'm cool.
I'm gonna still give it a try. You
know what I mean?
I'll play for both
if there's a demo, I might give it a little try and stuff.
You know, there's never a demo, baby.
But you know, there's for real. There's never a demo. Like, even with the female empowerment thing,
I'm just getting some water. I can hear you.
Yeah. Even with the female empowerment thing, I'm not necessarily bothered about that because, again, witches were women. That's what it is. That's what it was, right? The majority of them were women. There wasn't really any men that was being that. There was men and women hunting them, but majority of the times witches were women. And also it's
but
like, well,
but that's the
as long as
gaslighting,
they
right?
don't,
Like that's the
if the
gaslighting.
female empowerment thing is like, oh, we have to do this, we have to get rid of men, that's when I'll be like, all right, you're going a bit too far here, because none of our games that are about men, we don't say get rid of women and things like that, even though there's been cases where things like that happen, but it's always redeemed because of how the character is in that particular game. So that's how I get. Like, as long as they ain't shitting on anybody,
it's a very patriarchal thing, right? Because like if we're really going to like look back, right? Odyssey had Cassandra, right?
Yeah, Odyssey had Cassandra.
Syndicate had Evie alongside Jacob.
Evie, I forgot.
Right?
Yeah.
You can kind of say Origins had Aya alongside Bayek,
wife,
right?
And then Unity had what's her name from the Temple? She was a Templar.
What was her name? Dang, she was a real one too. I ain't gonna hold you. Ain't had to do her like that, bro.
Yeah, for real.
Then the modern day story had Lucy next to Desmond, right? Like y'all, like, are y'all mad because now the female lead, the female protagonist is taking the lead, and now there's no man presence? But there was no man presence in Odyssey. I didn't hear y'all talk about Odyssey like this, right? Y'all wasn't talking about Syndicate like this. Y'all talking about the bugs in Syndicate. Y'all wasn't talking about the fact y'all was like, oh my gosh, you can use 2 different people. Oh my gosh! Like y'all wasn't going. I'm just trying to understand whether, like, is it a crime to be black? Is it a crime to be a woman? Damned if you do, damned if you don't. Like that's what it real life feels like, because y'all patronizing Ubisoft because they're putting Yasuke in this game, and now y'all patronizing Ubisoft for putting a woman as the lead in a game based on the time period of a environment that was heavily influenced by women. Like, come on now, like.
Yeah, I want to see what they say about Outlaws, because apparently it's something weird to do with the cells or whatever. But we'll see what this person's saying.
Yeah. Play.
He scaled down in the future and then made into a Liberation-esque game instead of a mainline title.
Y'all wasn't mad about Liberation.
Like the smaller games. Anyway, let's keep going. Mostly because Ubisoft does not have confidence that Hex will sell well at all, and this too was put into development when a lot of these pandering games were first being pitched or made. Internally, as I was being told, the developers behind Hex joked that the game will indeed piss off the fan base, but they wanted to make it anyway. I assume because the game is devoid of male characters, besides of course the ones you probably kill or hunt. And like I said, it's going to have borderline magic at this point in the Assassin's Creed series, so expect lots of weird.
So you see how these Egyptians have skin like bronze?
But that's what I was told about Hex so far. They also told me that there's not a chance in hell that Ubisoft doesn't go bankrupt, and that Ubisoft's backup plan, if they were to get a bailout or if things were to turn around so that they could actually, exist in the future and not just immediately cease all operations,
I can understand that to the extent as well, why they would go bankrupt.
And then remake the original Assassin's Creed game, which is apparently not in development right now. And they also will pivot and just remake the entire Ezio trilogy as well, in order to just garner goodwill and get the support from the players again. These sources also believe that Hex will likely never see the light of day, but if it does, they will be actually shocked if it's not cancelled, or at the very least reduced dramatically in scope. I'm also told that many game studios are aware of Gamergate 2, and while they fear the implications of being caught in that war, that many studios have no desire or will to change their games to appeal to core audiences anymore. According to my sources, this was one of the most damning allegations, so please listen carefully here, is that the game industry, across plenty of studios, will start to market their games as being devoid of identity politics and pandering almost completely. However, the actual content within these games in the future will not be altered or lessened in terms of identity political content, despite this tonal change in marketing. Simply put, many studios and publishers are still all in on DEI and wokeness in the future. Like, they are not changing that. and they still want you to consume this content whether you want to or not, but they will now sell you the games by marketing them to you to trick you into thinking that they're not woke, basically.
Okay,
and then
so
you will buy it,
okay.
and then sometime
let me pause right there. So that's the part, right? That's the downside, right? Because now you're omitting the truth, and now you're being dishonest.
Yeah,
right.
I hear that.
That's the only thing. Like,
yeah.
Granted, right? Like you want things to help, understand certain topics, right? Like, I get it, right? You want to be informational as possible as well as entertaining. You don't have to lie to us, Craig. How you get fired on your day off, Craig?
Nah, bro, you don't have to lie. You don't have to. You don't have to.
Like, because it's like, my thing is like, yo, you just broadcast that this is what it is. For those of the people that want to play it, they're gonna play it. For those that don't, all right, sayonara, bye.
I feel like the gaming industry has always been kind of like, I've never once thought about a particular game and thought, oh, this needs more black people, or depending on what type of game it is. I've never really thought like,
bruh,
oh, this
you want to. So boom, I'm a support your claim.
Yeah.
Just look at the blurred community, right? Us as black nerds, right?
Yeah,
we play every fucking day. I have one of my best friends. He plays JRPGs and stuff like that. Like, I've never heard of half the games that he play. I don't know how he learned about them, but that's what he likes. And if that's what he likes, he's going to play it. If you like something, you're going to play it.
Yeah, word.
Like,
word. You give it a chance, and if you don't, and if it comes out,
it's like how you say you don't like something if you
just say it straight, like you don't like it because of X, Y, Z, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I remember, like, particularly guys, Gotham Knights. Yeah, you can go on my channel, you can see like the final thoughts for that, right? Yeah, everybody completely shitted on that game. They completely should have, and for reasons I understand. Because if I got the game in late November, so probably like a few weeks after it came out for like a solid price. Like, I think it's half the price, so it's like £25. If I finished the game probably before, let's say, March of April of 2023, I would have said, yeah, this game is bad. It's like a 5.5. But because there were certain patches that came through and made it a little bit better, I was like, all right, cool, I can deal with it. You know what I mean? There's still other issues, but it can't get more than a 7.5 because, the gameplay and stuff just wasn't, like, it got repetitive a lot.
It wasn't.
The story is great. The story, if you are a DC fan, check out the story for Gotham Knights. Yeah,
I started it. I just gotta continue it. I think I'm more like
I'm saying.
I think I got like 3-4 videos myself.
It had like Court of Owls. It had the Penguin. It had Ra's al Ghul. It had Talia al Ghul. It had the elements to be the story wise.
If the studios that made the Arkham series,
if the Arkham series studio made it, then hey, it would have been gold. It would have been
like game of the year.
For real. It would have been that. Because the story was really good, but it was just the gameplay that really bothered me about that game.
Future experiences, all the wokeness, I guess, will reveal itself, and then you will be probably too far into these games in order to refund them, and then these studios and publishers will then make their money. I asked my sources if they were sure of this.
That's bad.
They said that they were, and that this is damn it. So it looks like we're about to be getting some 4D chess moves from the industry soon, so expect a lot of deceiving marketing tactics that will be tricking you into buying games that you wouldn't.
Yeah, and we've seen that before as well.
So if we didn't stay vigilant enough before, we definitely have to in the future, it seems. I was also told that Ubisoft internally wants to make games that will, as I wrote in my big info doc here that I'm referencing from, they want female characters to dominate the world and the games industry. Like, they want every game that they make to feature female protagonists in leading roles and lots of diversity, and little to no white men at all within lead roles anymore. They hope that, according to my sources, that the game industry...
Hold on. So, I feel like there's been many female leading roles anyway. Like, obviously there's obviously more as time goes on.
All together, or are you talking about in just Ubisoft?
No, I'm talking like altogether. Like, there's been
Mm.
quite a few games that's been like female led. Like, even like
look at Clement Dog in The Walking Dead.
yeah, Clementine. We got Samus from Metroid. You got was it Chloe and Nadine from the Uncharted Lost Legacy? We've got Lara Croft. We've got what's my girl from Perfect Dark again? But that's been around. Women, female things have been around for time. You know what I mean? Like, I understand at one point it was a lot of men like that were female. I mean, not sorry, that were male lead protagonists. Cool. Just balance. All we're always saying is balance. You know what I mean? Just balance it out. Do if it seems right, and that's it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying that they can't have their time and their shine, whatever. No, I'm not saying that at all. I'm not that women in gaming is always going to be a thing, and that's calm. That's fine. That's fine. Just balance it out. Like, we're not saying like everything has to be female. If it's good, cool. You know what I mean? I'm not really too bothered anyway. But I get it. Balance it out.
Yeah. I don't know. You know, people.
Yeah.
They in real life be upset with what they don't understand.
I don't think that's going to be the case though, but we'll see. But again, just all we want is balance, really. Like the 50% this, 50% that, whatever. I don't care as long as it's a good game story, whatever.
Would all follow in suit. And this is basically being done because they want to erase masculinity from gaming altogether. I wish I was kidding, but hey, this is what my sources were telling me. So take that as you will, fellas.
That's the case.
I was also told that the project that ruined Ubisoft was not actually Outlaws or Shadows. It was actually Skull and Bones. My sources told me
this
seen
game.
multiple different versions of the game.
Skull and Bones was supposed to come out ages ago.
They said that they were told that the budget that was spent
I haven't
on
played
Skull
it yet.
and Bones, it ranged
Same,
somewhere
I've not
from
played it either.
$650
I have it,
to
but I just haven't played it.
$850 million over 10 years. And that Skull and
because they
Bones
thought
failed
that
so badly for
basing
Ubisoft,
the game off
it
of
was the actual
AC4's
reason
boat
why
play.
they're dying the way
Yeah,
they
no,
are
it's not
right
gonna
now.
work, man.
It's
You
not
can't do
actually
that.
Outlaws and Shadows.
Because I heard there's no
so they sunk
combat,
a
right,
legendary
outside
amount
of the ship.
resources into that game, and it clearly did not work out for them at all. They actually
let me
believed
pause it
that
for a
Outlaws
second,
and
yeah.
Shadows would be the games to pull them out of financial
So-
ruin after.
To all the Star Wars Outlaw fans out there, yeah, it's not Outlaws that's caused the problem. All right, it's not Outlaws. Idiot. And I don't want to get into too much of a tangent, but let me just say this in it, yeah, because me myself, I'm a big time Star Wars fan. I don't know about you, Tastic, the Star Wars and stuff. I don't know.
I'm a decent fan. I'm not gonna sit there and be like I'm an ultra fanatic, but I'm a decent fan.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Obviously, like when it comes to Star Wars, I know the lore from like Legends, like even some novels and comics from like Disney and stuff in it. Yeah, cool. Like with Outlaws, yeah, I've even said this in a video that I said about the recent show, The Acolyte. Obviously, I don't like it, and that's how it is. I just don't like it. You know what I mean? But obviously, there's people that like it. I'm not stopping them from liking it, but I still think that show isn't a Star Wars show just because of what it was trying to do, and it didn't grasp me to understand like this is a Star Wars show. It doesn't even feel like it. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I did say when it comes to Star Wars video games, we have seen there's been a better video games for Star Wars like Jedi Fallen Order, Jedi Survivor, Battlefront. The remakes 1 and 2 weren't the best at the start, but the patches afterwards kind of helped it. You know what I mean? But it still could have been a lot better. So I think the Star Wars video games right now have been in a better space than the actual movies or shows or anything like that because it's still Star Wars. Now, Outlaws, I haven't even had a chance to play this yet, but
Yeah.
I'm hoping it's good. I haven't gone off what everybody else is saying. I'm just going to play it. I'm going to give my honest opinions about it. You know what I mean? Star Wars, if people want to talk about like so-called woke nonsense and whatever, take a look at Star Wars right now and tell me there's a lot of stuff. I don't even like the term woke in it, yeah?
Are they mad now at the fact that because like the latest trilogy, right? Isn't Shorty the Shorty is a Shorty. The protagonist is a Shorty. Are y'all mad?
It's not even that. Like the character, she's been poorly written in it. A lot of us of it, she was poorly written. Like Force Awakens started off good, but when you get to the Last Jedi and Episode 9, Rise of the Skywalker, it's like, what happened? You know what I mean? Like, where did this come from? Like, and even the actress said herself that they didn't know what they was gonna do with Rey. So I was just like, so if they don't know what they're doing, that means this trilogy is just over with. Like it's done. They've not done anything to. They've not stuck to the code. I know
Yeah.
George Lucas wasn't perfect with Star Wars himself, yeah, but these people at Disney, they have not stuck to the code. You know what I mean? And then also, Kathleen Kennedy, she's another reason why we don't like a lot of people don't like Star Wars now. I don't hate her, but I don't like how she's moving because she's like, oh, the Force is female. And it's like, no one in Star Wars said that the females are not represented in Star Wars. There's been a lot of female characters in Star Wars that we all appreciate and love. And it's like, why don't you adapt on those characters that we love already? And instead of making new ones that don't make sense, that's what it really comes down to with Star Wars. But in terms of the video games, we've had a lot of fun. And most of the Star Wars video games for the last maybe 10 years, I would say half good, half bad. For the most part, they've been okay. So yeah, if Outlaws isn't the problem in Ubisoft, I think people do need to actually step up and just play this game. If you won't play it, that's fine, but you can't just trash it just because of what's going on. What's going on at Disney Star Wars?
Yeah, you can't have
what's
a
going on in
crazy
the video
hot
game
take
world?
and
Because here's
you're
my
not
thing.
even doing your due diligence.
Look at Jedi Fallen Order and Jedi Survivor. That's about Cal Kestis, a guy who was a nobody. They turned his story into something. So you're telling me that
Shout out to Ian from Shameless.
You know, you know what I mean? But this guy was literally, I thought, what's this story about? Is he going to be up with somebody special or whatnot? He started off from nothing, from a Jedi who was just a Padawan, any random Padawan, to being somebody because of Order 66. So, you know what I mean? And tell me, look at those elements of Star Wars, like Jedi Fallen Order and Survivor, and tell me that's not Star Wars. That is Star Wars. The Acolyte, I don't know what they were coming up over there with, but boy, I'm telling you, and I normally can just sit through things and deal with it, but that I was just like, yo,
yeah, as a fanatic of the franchise, you know, you want to feel something. That's like why like I be feeling like not like to say something about the Assassin's Creed franchise, but it's like, yo, like when I didn't like the game, I didn't like the game. I'm not going to sit there and be like, yo, I loved every game. Like, no, I love the franchise. Not every game is going to hit, and I understand that it's not going to detract me from buying the next one or playing the next one when it becomes free. Like,
you know what I'm saying? And that's the thing. I understand as well. Like, not every show or movie is gonna be great or whatever, this and that. But as long as it follows the code, I'll be like, you know, at least they tried to follow the code and they tried to do something. It just didn't work. The Acolyte didn't work. I'm telling you, that's just me personally. Now, someone on here might be like Acolyte Superhead, but I'm just telling you from my experience. And this is, you know what I'm saying? Like, no, for real. I have to say this because the moment I say on Twitter I don't like it, it's got the X. I explain my reasons. I'm a person who explains why I don't like it. The acting wasn't the best. Okay, you had what's his name from Squid Games? The main actor from Squid Games. Him and the actor who played the villain pretty much saved it. They had Carrie Moss, Trinity. They had Trinity in this show. She did her thing, but for what she was given, it was bad. The story, the witches, there are witches in Star Wars. It's a big galaxy, whatever, cool.
Yeah.
But why were these witches just like this is the thing that people were bothered about as well. There were two mothers. Okay, cool. But one of them was pregnant, one of them wasn't, and they had two twins. And I'm like, but okay, but they tried to make it like they're like next to Anakin kind of thing and Skywalker. Oh, they was born through the thread. What they call the Force is the thread. When we all know it is the Force. Everyone's called it that. Night Sisters, witches. They called it all the
thread. What is that? What is that, bro?
You see what I mean? You see what I mean? You see
what is that?
This is what I'm saying. We all know it's the Force. And the only person that was born through the Force was Anakin Skywalker, Darth Vader. That's it. He was an anomaly. That's what it is. That's what Star Wars is. That's how it's been represented. Yeah. Then they want to put Yoda in, and I'm thinking Yoda is a Grand Jedi Master. You mean to tell me, while everything's going on, he can't sense this? Like, I'm just being for real.
Like he don't have the power.
That's what I'm saying. He felt all the senses. You see his heart go to his chest, boy. He was on planet Kashyyyk. You see his heart go to his chest. He felt it. So you mean to tell me he couldn't sense this? Yoda is so in tune with the Force. I don't think anyone understands how in tune Yoda is with the Force. This guy, he can feel planets, different parts of the galaxy. He knows. So why would he not know about this? Come on. Anyway, rant over.
Now you
Let's
good.
get back.
Back up. Right.
What happened with Skull and Bones. So in terms of Star Wars Outlaws, and this is crazy, I was told that Ubisoft was devastated internally by the sales in response to Outlaws, and that they actually thought that they would make, and no, I am not kidding, they thought Outlaws would do, as my sources tell me, Red Dead Redemption 2 levels of profit. The game was actually internally being called during
it's not gonna do
development
that.
as Red Dead
It would have
Star
been
Wars. They thought they had a mega multiple franchise spin-off series in the works that would change the industry for the better in their opinion. I was also told at one time that the original pitch for Outlaws was actually a Mandalorian game. So, Massive is the studio that made Outlaws. They also made the Division games too. Apparently, the original vision for Outlaws was the Division, but instead of agents, each player was their own Mandalorian instead. And there would be multiple Mandalorian
that would have been
press, and you could swear your allegiance to whoever you wanted to. And the idea was to have this.
Hey, they can still make it.
I don't see anything wrong with this game right here, though, bro.
That's what I don't. That's what I don't either.
Adventure game where you could tackle bounties.
The only thing I will say, let me pause
friends
again.
Or by yourself.
The only thing I will say that I think a lot of people had an issue with woman character. I was like, whatever. Let me see how this game plays out. So I saw the game, but I thought it looks cool. Looks good. Cool. I think that her facial features in the game and stuff, because the mocap actress is, she's a very pretty girl, and obviously like she has good features, so we thought the face was gonna be like that. It's not like that, and I'm not gonna lie. The hair, and in some angles, it doesn't look the best. I'm not going to lie.
This is the thing too. I think me and you talked about it with 2K.
I don't care about that. You know what I'm saying? But I don't care about that. I'm here to play the story and the game. And again, maybe they wanted the character like this. That's how you got to think. If someone's making a game, if that's their vision for it, let them do their vision. You know what I mean? Not every woman looks alike. You know what I mean? So just let them go with whatever they're doing.
But it's more those people have a problem with what they're dealing with internally, and now they're projecting onto.
Yeah, I put actually, but a lot of people are projecting. I will say that.
Yeah, because it's like how we just alluded to, right? They don't have a problem per se with Outlaw, right? Like especially like Ubisoft is not like going through their stuff because of Outlaws, because like y'all just not buying the games. And why y'all not buying the games? Because y'all, projecting onto these characters, right? These characters are independent of you guys, right? They are made up of, thoughts from, countless minds, but they're devoid of you because, they're made in mind of you, like the consumer, but then it's like, let's really be real, right? Like, we can't appease everybody.
No, you can't. You can't please everybody.
Can't appease everybody. That's what people is not understanding. Let's get it.
As your own fully customizable Mandalorian. You could find new pieces of gear, like in the Division, and then swap out your guns for different stats and, make your own builds. And there would be endgame content.
But they can still do it.
Could jetpack around and fight in third
person.
They
can still do it.
Shooting like Division, but obviously it's Star Wars. This sounded amazing to me. I don't know why they didn't do it, but maybe it was too ambitious, I guess. And eventually Massive would then shelve the idea and instead went all in on criminal empire stuff, and then they reduced their vision of the game into a solo single-player game that you know now. Also, from its inception, Outlaws was always intended to have a female main character too. Originally, as I was told, Kay Vess was actually an Indian woman, but they eventually brought on Humberly Gonzalez to play the character, but Ubisoft internally didn't want Kay Vess to be fully Latina either. So they ended up with this weird mix of a character.
So that's why. All right. So hold on, I'm gonna pause right there. So that explains what you were just saying, where, the person that this character is based off of doesn't look entirely like her, and this is why, because they wanted to combine different faces, which is fine, right?
Yeah, that's fine.
But like that. you know, people was like, well, you know, you're saying that she's this person and I don't see her. And I'm like, everything is not what it seems. Like, you know,
It's true.
everything is not what it seems. Like, people got to understand, like, yo, just like how people be lying, like how y'all be lying. Everybody might tell a little story here and there. But also, just because you wasn't told or / asked for that does not mean that you were lied to. That's what some people don't understand as well.
No, for real. Sure.
What up, CMV? We recording for YouTube. You want to say what's up to the people?
Yeah, say what's up, CMV.
What's good? The Tastic reacts and Chris Ford reacts. What's good, though?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We talk about Ubisoft and how the woke community is destroying the gaming industry.
Oh my God.
How you feeling?
Feeling good. We just need some good games out, man.
Yeah, I mean, weird, but we're low key getting them until people be like, "Well, I don't like this because it's a woman. I don't like this because he's black. I don't like this because da 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 da." I'm like, bro, come on now.
Yeah. Anyway, let's see.
Let's continue. We got what? We got 8 more minutes of this
that
video.
Was actually intended by design.
I'm already at
it was referred
hour
to as
22 minutes. This is gonna be a hell of a video.
Racial main character.
It's like a podcast in a sense,
like
really. So,
yeah. Doesn't look fully white, Latino, Asian, black, whatever.
Now
podcast. You know they literally made the most ethnically ambiguous main character they
I've never heard of
apparently
racial
Massive was chosen
just
for Outlaws by Ubisoft.
Yeah, same. I've never heard that myself.
But then I get it, right? Because you can't just say biracial because bi is only 2
studios, so to speak.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, originally they wanted all of
she
their
don't
games
look
to start
bad.
with color or diversity, whatever.
Granted, I don't know Shorty's face that she's based
Shadows
on,
has now
but to me, she don't look bad.
Black characters, even male ones, are considered on par with importance to Ubisoft in terms of female representation or diversity. Black men are seen as a priority to push in franchises over white men too, according to what I've been told. So if you're wondering why everything they've made recently is so diverse and checks all the boxes,
that's so
you're not
nefarious
being crazy.
To hear.
It's all being done by design. Also, Avatar Frontiers of Pandora was a massive loss for Ubisoft as well, but they saw the game more as a beta test for the Snowdrop engine.
Bro, this game didn't do well either.
To familiarize themselves with open-world sandbox-style games. And they were hoping that while Avatar failed, that they could use their newfound expertise and experience to turn their next game, which was Outlaws, into Ubisoft's Red Dead Redemption-like experience.
It's not going to be Red Dead, man. Like, I mean, if you're a Mandalorian, then yeah, I can understand Red Dead style.
As good as Red Dead internally.
She's not that,
what
so
I was told,
I get that.
Yeah, that is... Oh god, that is crazy. Some more random things I was told was that Far Cry 6 broke even. It did make some profit, but it actually didn't perform the way that Ubisoft intended it to. And that their next games that are coming out, which I'm not allowed to say because my sources told me to not say them, they said the future games that Ubisoft has for 2025 and 26, assuming that, you know, they make it that far, are even less impressive than Outlaws or Shadows, and based on what they were telling me about them, I believe them. There is a lot of slop coming in the future from Ubisoft if they make it to those release dates. They also had some information on Ghost of Yotei, and they'll be giving me more in the future once they find more out. But apparently Ghost of Yotei blindsided many people that were working at Sony who were not made aware of what Sucker Punch was making. And that people in the mid-levels at Sony were actually confused when Yotei was announced because they were under the impression
so they did this without any consultation. Okay, I hear that too, because that's
the
like
response of that game either
let us know
internally
kind
at
of
Sony
thing.
right now.
Yeah.
Like I said, I should hopefully have more on Yotei eventually, but finally my source told me that Ubisoft has a massive labor problem right now, and that the actual workforce at their studios that they own are largely incompetent and full of diversity hires and women, which were hired in order to check boxes. Because many of these hires, according to
but there was a lot. Hold on, pause it for a second. 1 second. Like,
there's a lot of firings at Microsoft.
Let me pause that for a second because I mean, but there was a lot of firings because the gaming industry said they're gonna fire. Like, EA's fired people. Ubisoft is doing it. Like, we're going across the board. Like gaming developers, so it's like they've probably gotten rid of some of the best people working there that have helped on previous games and whatever. Now that they
In my
fired
opinion,
them,
well, so I could
it's
see it like
like-
this, right? If they did fire the best people, is really real life budget cuts. But then I could also see them firing the people that they probably just brought on that wasn't as progressive as they thought they were going to be, and keeping the the higher names, the higher touted people. Because I can't see them just letting go their best people and then all their games now go to shit.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah, but I mean, yeah, like the gaming industry, it's been firing a lot of people, and I think this is probably the most fires I have seen.
Yeah, and
People
in
losing
our
their jobs.
lifetime, yeah,
this has been the most. So it's just like, for me, I'm just like, look, I mean, I get it. I understand if it was like a good 50 people or something, maybe even 100 at best.
Thousands.
It's just like, yo, this is like a good like 500 plus thousand even. It's like, you know what I mean? So it's like, what's really going on? Like, is it a thing where budget cuts, or are you generally getting rid of the people that were once there because it's time to move on, we're going with different times or whatever? So, because the people that were once there that helped create certain games, they still kind of need to be there, because you want some sort of direction, especially for the next generation as well. Like, if you want some type of direction, they're the best people to go to. You know what I mean? Let's continue.
They don't care.
By the development teams. The actual talent level over at Ubisoft is apparently far lower than it was even 10 years ago. Most key talent has already left the company completely, and this has led to huge internal problems with dev teams and what they're making right now. There's apparently way too many junior level people and not enough seniors to teach them how to properly do things. And what ends up happening is that Ubisoft tends to outsource a lot of their development to other countries and their dev teams to help them, because the actual teams that Ubisoft has right now are really bad at their jobs. Apparently, this is what I'm told. My sources also told me that many of the things people like Grum say, and things that I assume when I make my videos, are actually not bleak enough. And that the game industry in general is, as they said to me, on fire in every conceivable way, and things are so much worse internally than we even know right now. These sources also told me that the people they know from various studios, ranging from all the usual AAA studios that you know of, that there is a massive, and I can't stress this enough, but a massive problem with witch hunting and identity politics in gaming. And that it's to the point where nobody can question anything, and there's a lot of what's being called these days in the news as toxic positivity, and this is absolutely 100% the case. If you're accused of not supporting the current narrative, you are being essentially torn apart as if you're living in a cult.
That's not a good environment to be in.
Toxic positivity has been getting referenced all over online,
toxic, man. Come on,
and it's literally killing games before they even come out now. If you're wondering why every game from Western studios seems to be pandering or putting women in them like crazy and so on, I'm told you're not crazy at all, actually. In fact, you're just recognizing patterns that have been going on for a very long time at this point. My sources also told me that people within Western studios will oust you if you go against the narrative even remotely, and that this witch hunting is being used in order to usurp senior level talent so that new hires with little experience can actually crawl into these way more lucrative and powerful positions that they have no business being in the first place. And this has now led to more people like them who think the same way as them getting hired, and that this stagnation of talent and creativity is permeating all throughout a large amount of Western studios right now. So if you think the industry is cooked now, it's in fact far more worse apparently than you could
It's
even
worse
hope
than
to
cooked.
imagine.
It's baked.
But this is what I got for you so far. To
cream.
reiterate, Yasuke was implemented solely due to identity politics. Black Lives Matter movements were an inspiration apparently for the character being included in the first place. He was not there originally. There was actually a fully completed Japanese male main character model.
Oh my days, my pause button. Oh my gosh, my pause button. My bad. I'm sorry, guys. 1 second. Yeah. So, but I swear, when did the Yasuke anime for Netflix come out? Was that not like? Was that not like 2019 or something? I swear. You know what I mean? Because that I feel like
so
was
it
that not
came
before
out
everything?
April 29th, 2021.
Oh snap! So it came after.
The original.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
But when was just because it came out that time? Okay, so
Yeah,
production.
that don't. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
okay,
that
so
doesn't-
concept, the production.
Yeah.
Thomas was approached by Netflix in 2017. So
2017.
so
Okay.
development was November 2018.
Okay, so that's okay, that's fair. Okay, cool. Yeah, so it's been in the benefit for that long. Yeah, okay. Cool. But you see, that's not pandering. That's just like they had it prepped. Unfortunately, the time of that event happened.
Yeah.
It just came out of the height of
Very
that craziness.
inopportune
Because if it
time.
came out before then, it would be calm because it'd be like, all right, cool, we've seen this. You know what I mean? the Oscar anime weren't the best. Like, you know what I mean? It was short. You know what I mean? Aliens, all different types of things in there. I was like, bro, okay. But it's an anime, like,
yeah, like
it is what it is. You just see, you kind of just move on.
People
with
want
it,
the action. They want action with a little story, you know?
Yeah. All right, cool. Fair. It's fair.
Somewhere in Ubisoft right now that they're not using. Ubisoft wants all their games to feature female protagonists, and they want the industry to completely reject white men in every single way. There's witch hunting across the entire industry.
I don't know why they did
Ubisoft's
that.
Red Dead Redemption franchise in terms of quality and sales, and they were
Something has
so
to
deluded
happen.
they actually
Something
thought
has
it
to
was
be
going
happening
to be
internally.
that. There's thousands of incompetent people in positions just wasting salaries and ruining your favorite games on purpose. Disingenuous marketing tactics will be implemented in the future to ensure you buy their games, but the actual content of said games will not be changing in any way. They are basically trying to own the chuds, as they would call it, and the Western industry, for the most part, are very identity politically driven right now, and there's no signs of it stopping anytime soon. Ubisoft will likely 100% go under no matter what, unless they are given some sort of bailout to operate at a limited capacity in the future, as I'm told. The only way that I can see this happening personally is either foreign investment or the Canadian government, since Ubisoft's main operations are in Canada, bails them out or something. Which means that my taxes could be used to save Ubisoft for a time, which radicalizes me like you don't even know, makes my blood boil, but here we are. Assassin's Creed Hex, or Hexy, will be the gayest, most lesbian-driven game ever.
You can't say that.
And it will be a girl power fantasy game unlike you've ever seen before, and Skull and Bones is a major reason why they're dying the way that they are right now. I think that about covers it. I will likely have more in the future, we'll see, but for now, that is plenty enough for one video. I think we can all agree. Please spread the word of what was said here.
Plenty enough for one video. I got an
Yeah,
hour and a half.
Contact me.
I've got like a good
Any info, please email me or DM me on Twitter. All of that info is in the description box below or in the pin.
All right, y'all. Y'all been in here with the first ever C4-tastic Reacts podcast, whatever you want to call it. It's the first of many. We had a guest appearance by Cash Money Vet. You know?
Oh, that's what CMV stands for.
Nah, actually, it's not, but you know.
Okay, fair enough.
There's a whole backstory behind
just gave him the alias of that, you know.
No, so like I was telling you before, I'm not going to sit there and be like, I created that. Somebody else created that, and I've been running with it ever since.
Yeah, fair enough.
But I feel like I'm not gonna hold you, CMV. I feel like I kind of did say something around those lines when it came to like what does CMV stand for. And then, you know, he just in the chat was like, Cash Money Vet. I'm like, all right,
there's a whole backstory behind that, man.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I bought it one day.
Sir, but with no further ado, leave a like, comment, subscribe. I'm putting C4's link in the description. I would do CMV's link in the description, but CMV ain't a content creator no more, man. So get this video to 10 likes, and my man will come back to streaming once he get his PC back up and running.
For sure. That's a bet, man.
Like, comment, subscribe. Cut.
Yo, go follow Tastic. Go follow Tastic's Twitch, cuz. That man is crazy.